We are tracking a dangerous severe weather system that could potentially bring damaging winds, hail, and potential tornadoes. And we can be seeing some potentials for very large hail and potentially some strong to violent tornadoes. So I'm going to be talking about what you need to know about the severe weather potentials. Let's get right into it. It's Sunday, April 26, 2026, and we have an area to watch for severe weather all the way from New Orleans all the way up into southeastern South Dakota. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk, which is level 1 out of 5, going from parts of southeastern Louisiana into southeastern South Dakota. But we do have a potential for some scattered severe weather today. It's a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk. We have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk going from Dallas, Texas into southwestern Iowa. We also have a potential for severe weather today. Then we got that level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk in parts of eastern Kansas, western Missouri, and northern Oklahoma, where we have a potential for severe weather today as well. Tornadoes will be on the table today. As you can see right here, there's a 2% tornado risk going from Dallas, Texas, up into Omaha, Nebraska. An isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out within that tornado risk. We have a 5% tornado risk going from Oklahoma City to parts of western Missouri, where we can also see a potential for some tornadoes. Then we have this tornado conditional intensity group 1 risk, which is that dashed line. So if you see those dashed lines right there, if you're in that area, that means that there's a chance that there could be a strong tornado, potentially EF2+. So that's something to be watching for, as we're going to have some potential storms forming out here that could be having a potential to boost some tornadoes and strong tornadoes potentially. We also have a 30% wind risk out here for eastern Kansas, western Missouri, and northeastern Oklahoma, where we have some chances for some damaging winds today. And then 15% and then 5% in those brown areas, and 15% is that yellow. So make sure to strap down unsecured objects if you can do so safely before they fly away, because some of these storms are already kind of ongoing right now. We also have a hail risk out here, so we're going to have some chances for some pretty large hail. Getting pretty large, so make sure to park your car under the garage so that doesn't get damaged by hail. So you can see we're going to have some storms kind of push through some of these areas, potentially producing some damaging winds. You can see this storm right there kind of go up there. You can see right there, if we push this up, we're going to have those storms push through, potentially producing damaging winds, hail. And then you can see some storms start to pop up out here around 9 p.m. Eastern here. So this is the HRRR future radar. You can see we're going to have some storms pop up out there. And then as we get more into the night, at 10 p.m. Eastern right here, but even more into the night, you can see we're going to continue to have some more storms come over here, push through some of those areas, and we can actually see a decent tornado threat if we get those storms to form out there. So this is definitely something to be watching. So yeah, even these little storms right here. So that's kind of what the HRRR is kind of showing right now. So yeah, definitely got to be watching out for severe weather if you guys are in any of these areas. This is CAPES. Think of it as storm fuel. Convective variable potential energy. You can see we're going to have some pretty nice, it's a nice environment for those storms out there if we get them to form right there. And you can see this is a significant tornado parameter. You can see we're going to have some decent levels out there here. So yeah, some of these storms might not even form out here, like the big ones that could be pretty strong. But yeah, so just make sure to be staying weather aware today. If you know anyone out here, please let them know. But as we get into Monday, we have a severe weather potential as well. For Monday, April 27th, 2026, all the way from northern Mississippi into parts of southeastern Minnesota. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk from northwestern Alabama to parts of Wisconsin. Then they have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk from Memphis, Tennessee into southern Wisconsin. We have an enhanced risk from places northwestern Tennessee all the way to southern Wisconsin. Enhanced risk almost includes all of Illinois, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, so we're gonna have a pretty big day tomorrow on Monday. Potential for some tornado outbreak. As you can see here, this is going to be our tornado risk. We have a 2% tornado risk going from Memphis, Tennessee, up into parts of Wisconsin. A 5% tornado risk going from northwestern Tennessee into southern Wisconsin. And then a 10% tornado risk going from St. Louis into parts of eastern Iowa. And then they do have a tornado conditional intensity group 1 risk, which is those dashed lines where we could be seeing a strong tornado, potentially EF2+. Then we have a SIG2, which is that tornado conditional intensity group 2 risk, which is those more that circle kind of thing with the lines instead of the dash lines, where we could be seeing potential for some violent tornadoes, potentially EF3+. So that's something to be watching closely there. Now, damaging winds are going to be a concern with this. I think that this should be hatched. A SIG risk as well, because we could be seeing some pretty strong winds out here. A 45% wind risk is in effect from northwestern Tennessee all the way up into southern Wisconsin on Monday in that pink area. So please be aware for strong, potentially widespread damaging winds. We also have potential for some hail out here too, some large to very large hail being on the table, all the way from parts of Arkansas up into parts of southwestern Wisconsin. So please make sure you're parking your car under the garage tomorrow if you're in these areas, as we're going to have some chances for some pretty large hail. Here, we're going to have some rain kind of push through in the morning, some morning convection, as you can see right here, which is actually going to push through that area, which that's probably why they haven't added a moderate risk yet. It's because we're going to have some of that rain kind of push through in the morning. As you can see right there, that convection, it's going to kind of put down the severe risk right now. But yeah, we might have some convection kind of push through some of those areas in the morning. And then after that kind of pushes through, then we'll have those actual serious storms fire. But like the morning convection actually has a potential to cause a few tornadoes potentially as well, and some damaging winds, hail. Within these areas. So in the morning time into like noon potentially, we could be dealing with still some hail, tornadoes potentially, and some damaging winds even before the main serious storms that come. If we check out the NAM here, the NAM model here, you can see here it doesn't have that much morning convection right now, as you can see right there. So if you don't have that much morning convection, tomorrow could be a very serious day. Alright, so this is what the Rufus A model is showing right now. You can see that we're going to have some potential storms start firing up, and you can see we might have some of that morning convection push through. Then we're going to have a big, potentially, some line of storms, potentially, some supercells potentially pop up out there, potentially producing damaging winds, hail, and some tornadoes potentially. So that's something to be watching very closely out there for Monday. As you can see here, this is what the HRRR is showing. You can see we might have some of that morning convection, and then we'll have some of those storms start to form on the backside of the morning convection, as you can see right there. And yeah, we might even have some snow potentially up here on the top side of it, so that's something to be watching as well. So if you're out here on Monday, or if you know anyone out here on Monday, please make sure you're having a way to get alerts. Let them know if you know anyone out here on Monday. Yeah. It doesn't stop there. As we get into Tuesday, some of those storms, we're going to have some storms kind of move down south from areas like from central Texas all the way into parts of southern Ohio. This is for Tuesday, so definitely watch Tuesday closely though as well. As you can see right here, we're going to have some storms out there on Tuesday pop up and then move through some of those areas. So definitely still watching Tuesday though as well. But Tuesday doesn't look to be as crazy as today and tomorrow's threat. So yeah, and then you might have a break of severe weather after that, but I wouldn't doubt maybe some risks for severe weather in the northeast or towards the eastern United States, Ohio Valley, though. So definitely gotta be watching out for that. Let's talk about the fire weather, because we got a big fire weather risk today, especially down here in the southwest, with extreme fire risk placed over eastern New Mexico today. So if you're out here today, please be aware for some fire conditions. It's gonna be we're gonna have some winds out here. It's gonna be dry and everything, so just be aware out here as we're gonna have some fire weather. We had some of these nicer warm temperatures try to come in, and then we're going to have some more cold air come through, especially as we get into May. If we push this up as we get into May, look at this. We're going to see we're going to see a lot of cold air potentially coming into some of these areas, as you can see right here. So yeah, it's about to get pretty cold again, so just be prepared for that in some of these areas. In the Climate Prediction Center, if we check out the Climate Prediction Center here, you can see they have areas of more cold temperatures coming in potentially, as you can see right here. Within these areas, we got some chances of below normal temperature. They have a 70% chance of below normal temperature within this area. So I think that's the area to be watching the closest for below normal temperature. So yeah, we got some potential cold air on the way. So be prepared for that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you in today's video, guys. Make sure to be staying weather aware, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.